Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah.
Good shows, actually.
Not for sure. I know the show that you're going to really soon. That the big fight next week. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney.
I leave Tuesday morning. My wife and I.
Safe travels. You got any thoughts on that fight, Ryan and Devin?
I mean, conventional wisdom is Haney wins a decision, but it's one of those outbet fights at 8-1 that the challenger has a path to victory, an avenue to victory, and that's by knockout. He's got quick twitch muscles. He has got really good power especially from the left hook, and if he catches him, anything could happen. Nobody's ever said it. Haney's got a great chin. Nobody's mentioned it good, bad, or indifferent. So we'll see.
Well, the best chins are the ones that get the least tested. You don't get hit cleanly too many times, Devin.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But listen, he's tall for the weight class. Ryan he's punching down. We'll see. He's got a shot. It's a shot in victory. It's not like he can't win. He can win. I don't think he wins, but he has at least he has an avenue to win. A lot of times when a guy's 8-1, he's got no avenue to win.
Yeah. What about the psychological part of the fight? Because Ryan's been all over the place on social media.
I think there's a lot of bullshit and a lot of I think a lot of it's phony.
Yeah,
he's talked to people behind the scenes. The one-on-one with it, and he's acted completely normal and rational.
Yeah,
so,
that's what you're hearing from Golden Boy and whatnot. About
no,
Ryan?
That's what I'm hearing from other people, not people from Golden Boy, people in the gym and Texas and stuff like that.
So basically, he's just promoting this fight, and
that's what I think.
Yeah. Okay, I hope so, because he's touching all avenues. He's touching politics, women, everything. Everything.
Well. He knows. I'm sure he's a well-versed on politics, highly educated about politics. He probably went to 4-year college for political science. I get it.
Right now, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, big fight for the sport of boxing. What was the vibe you got from the press conference today? Because there's a lot of insanity.
So Devin Haney, he's turning this into what. He's painting Ryan. Ryan's the antagonist because he's what happens when talent doesn't work hard. And he's about to find out what happens when he does meet talent that works hard. Ryan's the antagonist because he's not disciplined. Ryan's the antagonist because he's preaching religion out of one side of his mouth and being vulgar out of the other side.
He's being double-minded.
Yes. And Devin's trying to explain to us that I am single-track minded, and this is... He keeps bringing up kids too. This is what happens when you're disciplined and single track minded. And when you really try to pursue a relationship with the creator, with God, but although, people would debate that as well about skipping Ramadan and all that.
Yeah.
But his point would be, I'm not every other word out of my mouth always saying, God, 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 Jesus, Jesus, but I'm adhering more truly through my discipline to my craft to those principles, and that's what Devin's on. Devin isn't even backing away from the fact that Ryan's messed up heading into this fight. He said as much at the final presser. His whole point that he wants us to grasp is so Devin's point is, it's my show. All the flash and all the circus that has sold this fight goes out the window Saturday. And the real man of the show, the real point of this fight is me and my discipline and my ascension towards becoming the best fighter in boxing. Saturday night, when it comes, the bell rings. It's the end of the Ryan Garcia antics and, scattershot brain, talking about the Illuminati and talking about Hollywood and rubbing elbows with celebrities and going back and forth with them and all that. Saturday night, it's about substance. And I'm gonna be the one who's the man of substance Saturday night. So that's what Devin Haney's on. And then on the Ryan Garcia side, hey, if he ices Devin Haney early with a left hook, man, I will eat my words and give the young man credit. Like, it's not about taking credit away from Ryan, but like I see a young man in pain, Brendan. Like I see a guy whose inner turmoil is playing out before the whole world.
It's like a tormented soul almost. Like he's just
man.
He's conflicted. That's the word, conflicted.
And everyone has fast tracked him to this fight when clearly it's not his best interest at heart, really, from everyone around him. I don't even want to go over each and every one of them, but I just see a kid in pain, man. And I see a sadness and a chaos in his eyes, they say the eyes are the window to the soul.
Yeah. And
it's like, should this, I told, like at the airport, I felt kind of bad. I'm like, well, at one side, and you knew this from before the fight. Actually, before this fight was ever signed last year, I told you Ryan should never take this fight because he has no chance of winning it realistically. You know what I mean? Like he needed to be rebuilt through multiple Oscar Duarte type opponents and then fight someone like Rolly or Hitchens for a vacant belt or a belt here and then get back to that elite level. He rushed into the Tank fight and he rushed into the Devin Haney fight just like he rushed into the Tank fight. Like there was no lesson learned there. He quickly went to the Tank fight because the $25 million. And it's so odd that it sounds absurd to try to tell someone like Ryan this, but hey, bro, getting effed out of money early in your career and having to fight tough fights is kind of part of the development cycle. Oscar had to go through it. Oscar got fucked out of a lot of money in the Gennaro.
And it all pays off. It all
pays off, right? And skipping that process, even though you get the money that you were looking for, it comes at a price because you're a fighter. It's not all about money. You wouldn't have got this far without all that pride and fire in your stomach. So even though you went away with 25 million, like he had to feel a depression after losing to Tank, and then he knocks out Duarte and he jumps right into the Devin Haney fight without really building himself back to the elite level, and again, man, if he pulls it off, but it's just been hard to watch him at times, man. It really has. From his mannerisms and even the facial expressions and just the whole energy he's given off, it's like this kid doesn't feel like he's in the right mental state to be fighting a Devin Haney right now,
or anybody at the elite level. I mean, that's why I've been very vocal. This, Sean. Devin should probably win if nothing crazy happens, but I think this fight's gonna have a weird ending. I think it's gonna end by disqualification. I think that Ryan's frantic ways about him and all the up and down behavior, it's gonna end with him checking out in a different way this time. Rather than, quitting or anything like that, he'll quit in a different way. He'll look for a way out by elbows or some sort of illegal tactics.
Did you hear his final quote at the presser?
I don't remember. What did he say?
I'm going to break his neck.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And it's just, it's just interesting. I understand why people think it, but everyone just keeps thinking it's some kind of act or promotion. And no, man, when you see the kind of erratic 0 to 100, like today, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. Then into put my dick in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then when he was going back and forth with the guy in the crowd, if you contrast it to when Terrence got into it with Spence's crowd, right? Terrence controlled it and slowly simmered and built until he gave a death stare into the audience and was, put the light on that bitch since he wants fucking attention. And then just all of a sudden Errol Spence became a background figure.
Yeah. And
Crawford owned the moment and the vibe and singled him out. And with Ryan, 0 to 100 and then back down and then back up and then back down. And it's not that controlled aggression of a Terrence Crawford who's peaking right before fight night. And he's just letting out a little bit of air out of the balloon, just giving you a taste of what he's on heading into Saturday. Ryan's been letting that air out of the balloon and run everywhere out with it in the last 2 months. And so he told the people in the crowd, he went from your mom was in my DMs. That's right. Ha 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 ha. Like trying to make a joke out of it to, no, fuck you. Don't talk about my fucking mom. I'll go in there and fuck you up. And then to smiling and then being the nice Victorville kid. So, he doesn't know where he's going. And in this game, you got to have your problem solving brain functioning and ready to adjust and problem solve and figure things out
you
in
gotta
there.
be in the millisecond. You gotta be like so zoned in. It's not even being within the moment. You gotta be within the moment. Like it's that level of focus you need.
So, and I just want to stress to like Ryan Garcia's supporters out there, like this is not hate. Like it's some heavy stuff to talk about another man's mental state. And you'll never hear me call him crazy for talking about pedophilia and the Illuminati and Hollywood. Fair game to me. Like it's not that. It's everything, bro. It's the chaotic energy, the erratic stuff, literally the body language and the everything about him right now is just off. So it's not hate. It's me trying to be honest and observant and telling people, like, I'm concerned about this kid coming into Saturday night. I think what Brendan's talk about is in play. How could it not be in play when he keeps saying, I'll bite both ears, I'll break both shoulders if he holds me? And then his last quote at the presser is, I'm going to break his neck. And I guess, yeah, man, I feel for him right now.
What do you think about this new narrative? Like, I've heard Bernard Hopkins talk about it, and I think even Ryan. They're saying that this is all the art of war. Appear weak when you're really strong.
You know, I think if Bernard was looking across the ring from Ryan as an opponent, he'd be giving us all the game about how fucked up he's behaving. Like, you know what I mean? He'd be breaking it down better than I could right now.
Yeah.
Just, you know, and that's Bernard, the promoter, talking. And you know, Bernard's like my favorite fighter of all time. But I don't feel like Bernard's really speaking honestly. I feel like it's all promoter talk. And I feel like there's a chance that, you know, Bernard and Oscar are vindictively allowing this potential beatdown to go through Saturday night because Ryan, in their eyes, backdoored them to the PBC through Lupe Valencia to make the Tank fight.
That's right.
And at around that time, and it turned out to be Showtime's last year, you know, in this stiff competition in business, they may have thought they're on their last legs. They probably knew the rumors. Hey, this is their last year with Showtime. Don't give them a big leg up by giving them this $1 million pay-per-view fight. We're trying to, you know, wait for them to go out of business so we could take back over. They get the Lupe Valencia connection and it makes Tank a bigger superstar than ever. Their kid accepts every negotiation brought the other team's way, doesn't resist any of the weight stuff, gets knocked out. And I feel like, you know, part of this may be a little bit of payback for Ryan, you know, feeding him to Haney.
And that's why they didn't show up to the press conference. He was there by himself because it was kind of like, okay, well, you made your bed, you lie in it. It's your fault. Like, you want that over.
And on the surface, you know, Ryan reaches out to hug Bernard at the presser. Hey, are we good? Are we good? But I don't know. You almost feel from Bernard's like, about what? There was never anything wrong. Like, bullshit. Like, you were mad at the kid and, you know, rightfully so for some of your reasons. And he's right. Two sides to every story. You know, from Ryan's side, why are you guys trying to stand? Why do I got a backdoor to Lupe Valencia? Why not just encourage me to make this life-changing $25 million? And then from their side, because you haven't trusted the process at all. You've pulled out of fights. You haven't let us match make you to where you can actually win this fight. You're accepting every demand from them to lessen your chance of winning it. It's happening on their platform. And, you know, there was two sides to that story. And I love Bernard and Oscar, but I don't feel like they're being honest about how they really feel about Ryan, how he is, and what his chances are heading into this fight.
For sure, man. And, you know, Golden Boy doesn't have a big pool of stars these days, so he's the guy that's moving the needle the most as far as money's concerned. If Ryan gets beat up the way people think he's going to get beat up against Devin, what do you feel is the next step, if there is any, for him in boxing?
I don't know. And, you know, if it goes down like that, it's a shame because weren't you with me when we were watching All Access?
You were. Yeah, we were.
Did I predict this?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, we were on the couch at your house, and you were like, man, this is sad.
I called all this. I saw he was walking into the movie theater with 5 friends for All Access for Tank and Ryan, right? And remember I said, there's a sadness to this young man. This is sad. He looks like James Dean. Like, you know, he sometimes wears the leather jacket, got the slick back. He looks like he's like boxing's James Dean. If this kid would have moved correctly and been moved correctly and stayed with Reynoso, he could have been putting all of them to shame at the box office. You know what I mean? He was always going to have a stiff upper body. right?
Yeah, yeah.
But he has real talent with his speed, height, and power, and he's become an underachiever, right? You know,
A chronic underachiever.
he has, and that's not a full diss. That's saying you have a lot of natural gifts and talent. So I don't know, man. I feel like Sunday morning could be a very rough morning for Ryan Garcia, and my compassion goes out to him. And if that's the case, I certainly won't be sharing memes kicking him when he's down and everything. You know, I don't think he's going to win the fight, and if he doesn't, I hope the best for him afterwards. You know, people like him engaging with people like me helps me feed my family, so
Correct.
I'm appreciative of him. But you were on my couch last year when I was watching with my wife, and I even said I could see substances coming into this kid's life, because I used to have that problem as a young man in the early 2010s. You know what I mean? So I can sense it in someone else. So yeah, man, it's some true Hollywood story stuff starting to unfold, unfortunately.
Yeah, hopefully
Or he lands a left hook and knocks Devin out, you know?
And then all of a sudden, you know, he's the next big thing.
assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be clipping this and putting it on his Twitter if that happens. But as far as Devin, The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents Something the Boxing Game's Missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so this is a special video. I wanted to give my prediction on Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney, and it's quite a different prediction, because normally people will say, like, the prediction we get the most for this fight is we hear that Devin Haney is going to either outbox Ryan Garcia or knock out Ryan Garcia. And then you got a small pocket of Ryan Garcia fans that say he's going to knock out Devin. You don't really hear anything different outside of those. But I have quite a different take on this fight. And just so you guys know that how long I've had this take, Sean Zittel can confirm this take, because we were talking about this on the phone a couple weeks ago. And I was telling him, I said, look, man, the way I think this fight's going to end one way and one way only. And I think Devin Haney will win this fight by disqualification. I think he's going to win by DQ. Because I think Ryan Garcia, if you just look at the way he's been mentally heading into this fight, he's been very all over the place. He's been very frantic and just things he's been saying on Twitter and whatnot. And mind you, I've been enjoying it. I like a lot of Ryan Garcia's tweets. I think some of them are truthful. I think some of them are funny. I think some of them are a little cringe. But either way, it's all selling the fight. It's all building that promotion for the fight, so I get it. But I don't think Ryan Garcia is in the right mental headspace, and we saw when he fought Gervonta Davis. You know, when the kitchen got hot, he got up out of there. He you know, for lack of a better term, he quit. He quit in the fight. You know what I'm saying? He got hit with a body shot. Didn't continue fighting, and it was what it was. Now he can still overcome that. He can come back better, and truthfully, like, I think it'd be great if Ryan Garcia won this fight, because that would just flip the whole sport of boxing on its head, which is what I like. I like when boxing constantly has, you know, drama and things are changing and plot twists. That's part of the reason why I watch the sport. But I think what's going to happen is Devin Haney is going to be outboxing Ryan Garcia. He's going to be lighting him up from the outside. He's going to be showing that class in the fight. And I think Ryan's going to get to a point where he gets frustrated. Devin's not going to hit him hard enough to knock him out. And I think Ryan is going to resort to a lot of dirty, illegal tactics. Because he's even said it when talking to Devin that he'll break his arm, he'll elbow him, he'll do all these things. And I believe him. That's one of the things he says in this build-up that I really believe. So if he does that, I think he will get disqualified. People will be pissed off. There'll be controversy. And I feel like that'd be good. The boxing industry would love that, because if he starts elbowing Devin and gets disqualified and gets everybody all worked up and riled up, guess what? People are going to talk about it. And in boxing, there's no such thing as bad publicity. And guess what? They'll do a rematch. It'll be even bigger. And that's how I think it's going to play out, honestly. I know that's a pretty out there take. But it's a take that I feel like has some... I'm being logical. Like I've never. This is the first time I've ever predicted a fight to end by disqualification. But that's my prediction for the fight. Is that Ryan Garcia gets frustrated in the fight, and rather than looking for a way out as far as quitting this time, I think he will look for a way out as far as dirty tactics and roughhousing Devin, and it'll get out of hand, and he won't police himself, and yeah, it'll warrant a bigger rematch for more money, and they'll fight again, and we won't get unification with Teofimo Lopez. We won't get unification with Sabrina Matias, and the 140 division will further stagnate. So that's, you will get, a lot of people are going to ask my prediction. This is my prediction. This is how I think it's going to play out. I don't know what round he's going to get disqualified in, but I just feel like however it plays out, Ryan Garcia is going to get disqualified. Devin Haney will retain the titles, and people will be very pissed off, very worked up. And more so than that, the people that made accommodations to travel to the fight as fans and media that came to the fight to travel to cover the fight, they're all going to be left very disappointed with the result. And that's my prediction, and that's where I'm at, and I'm standing on it. So we'll watch this space, and we'll see how it all plays out. I want to be, please, let me be dead wrong and let Ryan Garcia come to fight and hurt Devin Haney, and Devin Haney had to summon something deep within himself to outbox him, and maybe he hurts Ryan Garcia. Like, I want a classic fight, because this is a big event for boxing. Both Ryan and Devin have fan bases outside of the hardcore boxing fans, so it would be a net positive. It'd be a good thing for boxing if both of them went in there and put on a classic fight, but that's not what I'm expecting. So we'll see how it goes. But you guys, let me know what you think. How do you think Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney is going to play out, and what do you guys think of my prediction of Ryan Garcia getting disqualified against Devin Haney? Do you guys think it's an out there take, or do you guys kind of see where I'm coming from? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterfield, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.